Prepare your swords, fellow knights, because we are moving to the Dark Ages, a world of funny-looking ships and mysterious stone graves. It is the 7th world of our time adventure and yet another hope to find Dave's Taco. Today, we won't receive any sun from the sky, so we have to find a solution to such a problem. Without further ado, let's go and deal with the medieval zombies. What there? Who dimmed the lights? No one, user Dave. We have simply arrived in the Dark Ages. Sounds gloomy to me. Indeed, according to my research, a plague has swept this era. Also, the sun no longer falls from the sky. What? We need someone to brighten this place up. That's right, Crazy Dave, because the Dark Ages is a really dark place. It's honestly impossible to beat that world without any additional sun producers, since the Iceberg Clutches still hasn't learned how to generate an icy sun. That's why on day 1 I decided to plant a single sun shroom to generate 100 suns that were spent on Boingseta, which is able to break a delicious cobblestone. It allowed me to buy some snow peas to stop the very first zombies of the dark past. The rest of the level was spent on planting additional snow peas to stop the huge horde of coneheads at the end of the level. However, day 2 wasn't possible with only one sun shroom, as I couldn't deal simultaneously with so many zombies, so that's why I had to plant another one. This time everything went smoothly, but lots of bucketheads on the second level made me a bit nervous, as I couldn't imagine what we would see later. On day 3 I understood how bad everything was, because even 2 sun shrooms didn't allow me to stop the zombie horde, and necromancy made everything even worse. That's why I decided to test not 3 but 5 sun shrooms at a time, because I was really angry. Thanks to such a reliable strategy, we managed to beat the level with 3 columns of snow peas. Just don't be angry with me because of that. Data suggests the Dark Ages were a time of intellectual decline and moral confusion. That's right, Penny. It happened because the Western Roman Empire had fallen under the barbarian pressure. It's called the Dark Ages to compare it to the light times of the classical ancient world, where science was developing and humans had a reliable source of moral values. It gave us mathematics, ancient Greek philosophy, and lots of important things that we still use today. So you heard a small explanation of what the Dark Ages is, because no one will explain it to you except me. By the way, these facts were dedicated to day 4, as it didn't contain any ice plants, so I used my chains to tell you something interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. So here comes day 5, which is the first level containing the Jester zombie. This was the last time I used 5 shrooms at a time, because I was scared of funny moving clown. And the funniest thing for me was the way of dealing with such a zombie, as I managed to destroy it using only a snow pea, whose frozen peas are usually shot back, but not when it shoots a piece of ice. Chili pepper is also a good alternative to that option, but it's pretty expensive for me, requiring an additional 100 cents. On day 6 we had to prepare a good defense line, because it was the last stand level, the first one in the Dark Ages. It was a good chance to play with some expensive snow plants, and I decided that the mistletoe would be the best option for destroying the local zombies, as enemies like Jester are immune to the frozen melons, but can stand a good snowball throw. The Boingsetas were also pretty useful, as they allowed me to break delicious cobblestones and stop the zombie horde from reaching my lawnmowers. It was a really good last stand level. On day 7 I planted only 3 sun shrooms, which I found to be the perfect number to replace the suns that fall from the sky. I was once again impressed by the freezing ability of the Snow Pea, which stopped all the zombies from reaching the end of the lawn. Even the gravestones couldn't stop them from taking down poor zombies. The helmets of the night zombies were also a bad defense against the freezing machine. On day 8, I had to survive the zombie attack with the given plants, which is a good chance to tell you an interesting facts about this world. Did you know that the Dark Ages was supposed to have a different map? In files of the classical PVZ2, some players found an unfinished map of the Dark Ages, which was different from that of the 4 previous worlds, reminding us of a modern world map in Plants vs Zombies 2. However, it included 30 levels, while the modern Dark Ages has only 20 levels, the lowest of all worlds in the game. I wish we could play the original Dark Ages. Day 9 involved dealing with boosted medieval zombies, which was also a good opportunity to try a cult Snapdragon in a new reality. Fortunately, those zombies didn't pose any threat to us, as all of their advantages were offset by the freezing ability of ice plants. I spent almost 10 minutes beating the level, so I could even plant a few missile tools to finish the zombie attack a bit faster. Meanwhile, a few Iceberg latches controlled the whole situation on the lawn to ensure everyone worked at 100%. Bro thinks he is the main character of the game. Anyway, after successfully finishing the level, we received a scroll. Let's open it. User Dave, we have encountered a scroll. I love side-scrollers, they are my second favorite kind of game. This is not a game, it's a piece of parchment bearing a message. We'll get a look at that, it's a Dark Ages email. Neato. By decree of Lord Zomboss. Please leave soft brain on scene stop. Day 10 was yet another conveyor belt level and a great battle against the medieval zombies. We had a nice opportunity to play with mushrooms, potatoes and Johnny the Walnut. I think it's a good opportunity to express my feelings about that world. The Dark Ages always gives me a mixed feelings. On the one side, we have a world with unique mechanics and good plans, but on the other hand, we see an unfinished world that lacks deeper development and truly unique mushrooms that weren't used in the first part of the game. The Dark Ages isn't a bad world, but definitely not a good one. 5 out of 10, if you ask me. On day 11, we had to fight with one of the most dangerous zombies in the game. The Wizard Zombie. This weird-looking old man can turn everyone into a sheep, so be aware of such a charlatan. Despite this horrible appearance, it was a pretty usual level of the Dark Ages. A typical one, I guess. On day 12, we had to protect those cute-looking mushrooms from being eaten by zombies or simply disappearing, just like I did after graduating from school and university. With the help of the Snow Pea and Boingsetta, everything was possible. Even old man Jenkins could do nothing to a frozen lawn. That was a simple guide to how this world should be beaten. After dealing with such a cool level, we received an Excalibur, a legendary sword in the Great Britain's mythology. Why would anyone go and stick a nice sword into a dirty rock? I understand it to be a test, user Dave. Only someone with great physical strength and strength of character may. I bet someone with a jackhammer could remove it. A crazy someone. An inelegant but no doubt effective solution to the test, user Dave. Day 13 was yet another conveyor belt level, but this time we had to play with a peanut. Did you know that it takes around 540 peanuts to make a jar of a peanut butter? Another fact is that I'm also a big fan of such a delicious product. Put like on this video if you like peanut butter as much as I do. On day 14, I had to produce 5000 suns without any sunflowers. Sounds a bit crazy, but not for me, as I have my good old friend Sunbeam. he allowed me to get lots of additional suns. For example, I got 600 suns out of a night zombie with a full HP bar, which is really a lot. Thanks to such a cool objective of the level, we were able to play with my lovely wintermelon and even plant a full column of them. Just look at my lawn at the end of the level. This is what being rich looks like. Day 15 was my favorite last stand level, which I decided to beat with only snow peas to make it as hard as possible. Everything went so smoothly that by the end of the level, all of my snow peas were turned into sheep, allowing me to chill for a few minutes and enjoy my new horde of grazers. Wait a second, is that animal versus zombies? Sounds pretty strange. Day 16 was one of the hardest levels we faced in the Dark Ages, because we had to fight against the King Zombie without any efficient plans to counter him. It led to an enormous amount of night zombies on the lawn, when none of my snow peas could deal with non-stop attack of helmets and wizards. However, with the help of the cold snapdragons and the right timing for using the plant foods, we managed to destroy them all by destroying king zombies as fast as possible. Day 17 was yet another level with evil potions. However, they didn't pose any threat to us as we were playing with the ice plants. Sometimes the level was really hard because of the Jester zombie, but for the most part it was enjoyable to beat it, probably because we used the icy boost of the winter mint, as it was the only possible way to beat the level using only the snow pea. On day 18 we had to survive the zombie attack with the given plants. This time it was about mixing butter, ice and peanut butter. Wait a second, is that a recipe for a tasty dessert? Because I want to try it. Besides a great cooking show, we had to deal with many zombies in seriously strong helmets, but it wasn't as funny as buttering them down. Day 19 was about protecting the magnet rooms. I was honestly surprised by my results, as I managed to beat one of the hardest levels of the Dark Ages from the very first attempt. Of course, I used the cold snapdragon and some other good plans, but it's allowed in my rules, so everything is fair. Always remember that ice is stronger than any hammer you have, even if you are gargantuar. Hey, Penny, what is plant food made of? I fear the true nature of plant food requires further analysis. User Dave. Excuse me while I run some tests. No problem, Penny, because day 20 was the fight with the Dr. Zomboss. Unfortunately, it didn't contain any ice plants, so the fight with him was pretty usual. I have found no evidence that plant food contains zombies or zombie. Phew, plants shouldn't eat zombies who eat plants. Except Chomper, he has to. A dude needs the fiber. Anyway, the key is mine, which means that we are moving to the Neon Mixtape Tour. Another 32 levels, but this time with lots of cool and atmospheric music.